All right, guys. Samuel L. Jackson stands by Brie Larson after toxic Marvel fans, quote, incel dudes who hate strong women, won't destroy her. That's what he says. He says, all the incels will not be here to destroy Brie Larson. Thoughts?
I mean, they couldn't destroy my queen even if they wanted to.
Yeah, I was saying earlier at the start of the show, I think she deals with that phenomenon where we, like she's obviously a beautiful woman, but because she's a famous actress, we hold her to a higher standard, right? If you walk into a bar and you see Brie Larson there, you're going to be like, oh my God. Yep. You're going to be, oh my God. So I think, yeah, people are unfair to her. And just because she's annoying does not really, you can objectively say she's a beautiful person, even if she's annoying.
Same. I've taught you well, my son.
Those are my thoughts, Brett.
So Samuel L. Jackson stood up for his Marvel co-star recently. He says that she was broken by the election of Donald Trump. I don't know how you can be simultaneously a strong woman and broken over a presidential election.
Do you have that full quote? Because that's, it sounds like an insult out of context.
It says, we bonded through the election while we were doing her movie when Donald Trump won, Jackson remembered. She was broken, and I was like, don't let them break you. You have to be strong now. Then when she got Captain Marvel, she called me and was like, they want me to do the Marvel universe. Should I do it? I love the like affirm me question of like, what if he's just like, no, don't do it. Like,
I don't want you. Some timeless knowledge.
Okay. So you can't be both simultaneously a strong woman and broken because some guy you don't like got elected to office. Can you?
Apparently.
Can you?
Yeah.
And I don't think that her problem is that she's unattractive. She's plenty attractive. Her problem isn't even that she's a bad actress, though people would say she's wouldn't. It's that she has said a bunch of stuff early on in the most pivotal time in your career when your image needs to be as crisp as it can that just rubbed people the wrong way, right? So when people hear you say nobody cares what 40-year-old white dudes have to say about A Wrinkle in Time, it just reeks of entitlement and identity politics in a way that's going to be very hard to outrun. Oddly enough, because I liked her in The Fast and the Furious 10. I had no problem with her performance in that movie because she was not hired to outshine Vin Diesel and take over the franchise.
What was her character?
She was Mr. Nobody's daughter, I believe. And so she's a spy. Nice. And she gets to come and meet up with Vin. She gives him the God's eye, and then she looks like she holds a gun. Looks like she's never held a gun a day in her life. It's awesome.
I believe it. She probably hasn't.
It's there's like she's very very wooden for somebody. Like I imagine if they gave her a role that was all about having TDS, about some like Donald Trump-esque politician, she'd do good because she'd be able to channel.
I don't believe anyone has TDS. I mean, none of these people have TDS. They're like, just read the script. I just think everyone has the same agent that is like, okay, honey, you hate Trump and you're progressive.
Think that's true?
You'll get that any role you want.
I think a lot of them.
Oh, dude, Serge talks about it all the time that he didn't get either a job or a gig out in Hollywood because they said, where's your pronouns in your bio?
Nice.
Because he just didn't have them at all.
Yeah.
They're like, where you need those. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna look for something else now.
What's your pronouns?
So
Kevin?
this is totally like we joke about it, but it's totally there's life coaches out there in this country that'll tell you what to say.
Yeah. And then Yana comes in and is like, have you thought about putting your pronouns in your bio before you leave your husband?
Dude, the last company I was in, they wanted me to dress as a famous historical feminist character for Halloween.
Who was that supposed to be?
I don't know. I didn't let them finish the sentence. I was like, I'm not doing this. And they were like, we find this very concerning that you don't want to cross-dress Dane. And I'm like, I'm not doing it.
When my last, I won't mention the school, but one of the school I was a coach at, dude, they required 1 year. They hired this new like diversity, basically like a diversity coach, like I guess like not a therapist for the school, like literally just to coach all the staff on how to be more woke. And anyway, there's this like big mandatory like learn how you're being racist seminar that you're supposed to go to. I'm like, I'm just not going. And thankfully nothing ever came of it. Like just the day came and went and no one ever talked to me about it. But like it's you know, it's springing up left and right in, you know, the actual world of this kind of
aren't
stuff.
you like a volleyball coach? Like how that goes? Like when you serve, remember the
I don't even
bad hand the
it was-
African American community has been served.
That's just it. It wasn't even sports related. It's just like, oh, you're associated with this school, yeah, so now you have to.
Okay, well,
I wonder when these celebrities forgot that it was a good idea to just like keep certain things to yourself. Like Samuel L. Jackson also said that Donald Trump reminds him of the same rednecks who hurled racist slurs at him when he was a kid. He says, "When I grew up in segregation, I knew which white people didn't want me to be bothered with me, and I knew how they felt about me." The Pulp Fiction actor said in an interview. I wonder if he realizes, and I don't think he does, that segregation is back. It's just coming from the other side now. And they're very, very happy to segregate. They just self-segregate now, separate graduations, separate dorm rooms and things like that. I blame that on them just not being informed on the things they're speaking about and not being plugged into it and just saying,
so
like
weird,
they said,
man.
what their publicity reps say, what all the people that work for them tell them they need to say relevant. He says, that's what the Republican Party is now to me. Like 20 years ago, you would be smart enough to understand that even if you don't like these people, they're your paying customers, and you should probably keep that to yourself. Like, it is really what ruined celebrities, right? It's not that celebrities were ever better. It's that they didn't have social media to say stupid things and put their foot in their mouth.
Right. Well, you know, but I don't think it should matter because, like,
and yes, same
take
side.
other
Sorry,
jobs.
it was the Republicans who freed the slaves anyways. So he's gonna buy into the party.
what should
swapped.
it matter?
just like social media has allowed us to look into everyone's life, and now suddenly what they're doing in their free and private time is, you know, being broadcast, and certain things matter, like, right, don't be a criminal. But like, let's say you're on a plane somewhere and your pilot happens to like playing poker, and then you like freak out because you're like, oh, gambling is evil, you know. So it's just like certain things we don't need to look into people's lives. Like, I think you should just let, if a guy does, or a woman, a person, whatever, does a job well, they should be able to do that job,
Right.
So certain things though, like, because, you know, then I know there's other concerning, like if they're being a criminal and you know that and you see that, then yeah, you probably should find something wrong with that.
You know, I agree with you because I've been working on social media for a decade now because I'm old, and pretty much on the first years, I had to be pretty much so long on Facebook to do ads and run posts and things like that I was caught up with literally every one of my friends' news feeds on Facebook because I was always there.
Right.
And I mean, I know pretty much better than most people that everything people post is fake. Like, none of it is true.
What do you mean?
You know, like friends of mine be posting pictures in places that'll make them look more affluent, and then I talk to them individually, and they're all broke. You know,
like misleading, right?
But yeah, I mean, yeah, like
Take me back.
Well, because stuff did happen, but I see, like, you'll only see we only post about the most exciting times in our lives, or the things that make us the most angry.
You're framing yourself. You're
Right.
framing yourself in a direction. You're courting the audience that you want to court. And so I just stopped taking anything anyone said online seriously. So that was
It's all fake.
basically
It's all fake.
birth control.
Birth
time.
control.
Wow.
Anyway, is this your first birth control time?
Do you guys do it together?
Yes.
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 Wow.
Look, it's just, you're right. Like most of what you see, it is some type of prepared statement on your life, right? That so everyone can see just the things that you want to share with them.
And that's why the sectors of the internet that I like to engage particularly are usually the gaming spheres, because we have like a common base thing to reference, and it's objective, it's tangible, and sure, you can have different opinions on it, and that's where like the interesting conversations lie. But by the way, I'm never turning the alarm off, Nixie. Never. And you can have an actual conversation. So when I see when Kellen's point is like, you know what, it shouldn't matter. It's what you do. Like, I would, I guess, enhance that point with my experience of like, yeah, but it shouldn't matter because it's not even real.
Yeah. Also, like, look, when he says the term incels, do I buy that that Samuel L. Jackson really knows what that means? I don't know if Samuel L. Jackson knows what an incel is. I think that he heard the term and probably just used it because she used the term.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's derogatory. Like that's all he cares. Like,
I don't know, man. It's hard for me to buy. I guess, but also like it's at a point now where they're right. Like they don't have to worry about profit because none of these studios seem to care about profit anymore. So why bother holding your tongue if you want to be a dick to a bunch of people? You can do that because you're going to continue to get hired, and these studios won't worry about whether it hurts their image because they're still going to get their money back through their, whether it's ESG funding, whether it's the stakeholders and things like that. They don't seem to be heavily focused on profit.
Yeah.
They just released The Flash and had to limit all of Ezra Miller's appearances. By the way, that movie is looking to drop about 60% week 1 to week two, so it's only going to make about $20 million on a ridiculous budget, and it's already dropping 60% into week 2 off of a week 1 that only made like $60 million. So it's like every one of these people can be problematic, and it doesn't matter because nobody seems to care. Like we complain about it, and of course this side of the internet is like, yeah, you're probably right, but then the average person doesn't know that he says this stuff.
but you know what? Like this side of the internet is getting cringe, dude. Like pretty much, I feel like the roles are reversing, and now like the anti-establishment people have become progressives, where all they want to do is cancel and complain, and the other side is like, look at how we got it. They're just really, we just need capitalism and the free market to thrive. And
Literally,
it's
all I do all day
hilarious.
is kind of, essentially my job is to complain, so I don't really have a
Hell yeah.
But canceling, no. And
I do it for free.
I'd like to think that I'm fairly neutral most of the, like, I don't even take hard stances on most of this stuff. I don't think you should not go see a Samuel L. Jackson movie because he says stupid stuff. I just think you should be aware of it, and if it bothers you enough, then forewarned is forearmed, so then you just don't go see it if it does bother you that much. But it's not going to stop me from watching. Like, I've gotten very good at separating the art from the artist, so I can still go back and watch Pulp Fiction and not care that he said a bunch of stupid stuff on the internet, because back in the day you would have watched Pulp Fiction and he would have thought the same things. You just wouldn't have had access to his thoughts.
Well, and you got to remember, it's not, I mean, it is Samuel L. Jackson playing the character, but that's not who's in the scene. That's not who's on screen, right? He's playing a character. He is completely transformed. That person that's on screen doesn't have those opinions that you just read on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, that may sound silly to some people, but it is the truth. Just enjoy the art for what it is. You don't always need to like the artist.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.